I was scanning YouTube the other day and this short popped up.
If you love organization like I do, you're probably going to want to get some socket trays, but these are $20 and $17 from Harbor Freight without coupons. But if you go to Walmart, you can get them for $13 a pop. Know something cheaper? Have a better option? Leave it in the comments. Thanks.
Maybe 3D print them? Let's talk about it on today's Filament Friday. This video is brought to you by the Filament Friday eLeveler 2. It helps you level those classic 3D printers with the 4 knobs. Level each corner by adjusting it till the light just turns on, and you'll get a perfect first level print. So check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. First thing I did was go to printables.com and look for socket holders, and the choices were endless. There's just all kinds of them in there. I settled on this one from Hatley T, and it looked very simple to print and exactly what I was looking for, the right size, the whole bit. So I downloaded the file, brought it into Prusa Slicer, and it fits on the bed nicely of the Prusa Core 1. I decided to print it at a 0.28 layer height, PLA, and 15% infill. This is the first print. I'll probably change it later on. But what I wanted to do is do a two-color, or color change at the height where the lettering is. So I just slid down on the bar after it was sliced, and then I right-clicked and selected Add Color Change. And that adds the code to the G code to change colors for the lettering. As I mentioned, I'm using my Prusa Core 1. I got my filaments there on the side ready to go. And here's a time lapse of it printing, and it did a beautiful job. It stuck to the bed. And then it got to the point where it told me to change filament. So I clicked on it, and I just had to remove the old filament and then take that spool off and then add the new filament, in this case the orange. I clipped the end of it so it'd feed easier, started to push it through, and then it grabbed. And then I said, yeah, continue. And it spit out the black until it got to orange. Everything looked good, so I just pulled that out of there and then hit continue, and it started printing the letters. And you can see the orange on black looks really good, especially for Halloween. So I'm happy with the results, and I let it cool down a little bit. I didn't flex the bed or nothing, but I just came under there with my tool and popped it off, and what a great print. A little bit of stringing on some of the holes, but real minor. And the best part is it took 2 hours and only cost about $2.47. And now off to my pride and joy Craftsman toolbox. I saved for years to get a toolbox like this, and now I'm trying to organize everything. So here's the 3D print with the sockets all in place. This is a new set of sockets that I got. And it's got the taller ones in the back and the deep wells, and it looks great. It holds them. And there's one slot here I got to fill. It's the 13/16 deep well. I've got one there, but it's actually for a spark plug. So I'm going to get a new straight one. And then I got to do some metric as well. Plus I got 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. So I'm going to have a whole drawer full of these things when I'm done. So after seeing my toolbox, which is red and black, my typical colors, and I love Craftsman tools, you'd say, why did you do black and orange? Well, first of all, it's Prusa colors. And also it's Halloween. I'm doing this on Halloween, so I got to have a little bit of Halloween, right? But I'm going to reprint this in red with black lettering, which is really what I want. And I've got to make a whole bunch more because I've got a whole bunch of sockets, 1/4 inch. I've got some 1/2 inch drives. And then I got a bunch of old sockets. These are all new ones because my kids, when I get Father's Day or birthday gifts, I just tell them, give me a Lowe's card and I'll go buy some new Craftsman tools. And I'm really happy with it. But I got a bunch of these old sockets that I need to clean up. Some of them are rusty. I got to organize them, and that's why I need a bunch of these. To buy them would be incredibly expensive. Even though I did find on Amazon a very affordable set of 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch socket holders with magnets for about $4.50 each. So about twice the price would it cost to print this, but has magnets in it. I'm not sure how hard he looked for other alternatives before putting that video out. And it's fine because people probably told him all about Amazon. I think there were comments in there. But I found much cheaper on Amazon. But the point is, I like the fact that I can design my own. Now, those come with magnets, but I really don't need the magnets. I can always add magnets. But I found that it's much easier if these things just hold themselves and I'm not fighting a magnet. And the only thing I would change about this design is make this wall taller, make it a step up, because these are definitely top heavy. The bottom ones are in good. So that's a change that I can make, but there's all kinds of designs out there that I can get. I've seen designs with a taller shelf. I've seen some that are Gridfinity, so you can put Gridfinity down and then put these in place. I've also got some unique sizes. I've got this socket. It's 1 7/16. I got a 1 1/4. That was my dad's socket. He handed down to me. And 1 1/8. I've even got a deep well 1 inch. I used to use this for the lug nuts on my race car when I was racing stock cars. So I got a lot of custom sizes that I'm not going to find that at Harbor Freight or anywhere, or even on Amazon. So this is where Tinkercad comes in. I'll just go and design my own holder for these larger sockets and make it customized to what I want. And that's what I love most about having a 3D printer. I'm not saying go out and buy a 3D printer so you can make something like this. It's not worth the money to do that. But if you stack up about 4, 5, 6 of these types of projects, the money you would spend on the tools or the socket holders or whatever will definitely take a big chunk out of the cost of a 3D printer. Now, I love the Prusa Core 1. It prints beautifully, but you don't even have to spend that much. These socket holders would fit on just about any printer other than maybe a mini. And then you could even split them. Some people have designs out there where they're longer, but they snap together. So you can split those in half and then snap them together or glue them together. And now you got a long tray if you want, but print it on a smaller printer. There's a lot of options, but the idea is that you get to create it. And you will save money in the long run, which will then essentially pay off your 3D printer. Now, the main reason this caught my eye on that video was because I got people constantly asking me what they can print to sell, make some money. Everybody needs extra money, especially right now where people are losing jobs or just the inflation has cut into everybody's pocketbook. Well, this is a practical print. This is something I've never seen in a craft show. And usually there's a husband walking behind his wife. She's looking at all the different craft stuff. I see a 3D printer at a craft show. They're printing dragons and stuff. Can you imagine how many guys will be around the table if you were 3D printing this? You'd have a captive audience because they're bored, right? In most cases, they're looking for something to talk about or something to look at. So if you can come up with tool ideas like this and sell that at a craft show, I bet you'll do all right. Now, I also did the filament swap on purpose because if you have an AMS system or multicolor system on your printer, this gets really easy. You don't have to stop and swap. But I just wanted to show that it's still possible, even on a modern printer like this, real easy to do. Set it in your slicer to change color, go in there, swap the filament, and it did a great job printing the colored numbers on a black background. I'm thinking about maybe getting a rock tumbler to clean these things up. If you have a better way to clean up old rusty sockets, I'd love to hear it. Let me know in the comments below. Also, what do you think about this idea? You think you'd be printing them and selling them? I hope you do. Hope you make some money. But let me know if you plan to do that, also in the comments below. I want to give a big thank you to my Patreon supporters who are with me every month. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you like what I'm doing here, maybe check out some of the videos popping up. If you want to help support the channel, Patreon is one way, or a membership at thangs.com. And if nothing else, click on the logo and subscribe. I'll see you next time right here at Chuck Hellebuck's Electronic Products and Filament Friday.